The movie begins with the drilling camera from 4,000 feet under the sea, and when they start to drill, purple matter comes out. The lights go out and it turns blue, and then they lose signal. At the base, Fleming gets a report of the storm approaching. Charlie rig is in danger because of it being in the path of the storm, and the given task is to evacuate the team in the rig, and the remaining people there have to survive through the weather. With this, the helicopters take off. At the rig, Freddy comes to meet Colin to ask why he called, but Colin does not respond. At first, he later reveals that he has been living under Freddy's shadow for too long, and when he returns to base, he is out. And then we have a shot of him leaving. Back at the base, Wallace and Andrew are debating over music, and Jim comes in. There's reported that the wind speed is at dangerous levels. Earl tells them to stay put as they are the ones who have to spend the night here. Carrie is there as an expert on storms to help them out. Dobbs and Earl are working in the compressor room, but nothing is going on in there. Jim complains to them, and Dobbs takes cover for Earl, and then he goes outside. Rodriguez and Freddy are working, but he finds that the camera has been broken. Earl, trying to manage the compression rate, but nothing seems to be working. And suddenly, something happens and blood splatters. At the cafeteria, Virgil has made poached salmon, but Rodriguez looks rather disgusted with the looks of it. Faulkner, who is in Special Forces, compliments Virgil, and shortly after, Freddy and Dobb come into the cafeteria as well, but Dobb notices that Earl isn't there. He calls the control room, but only to know that he isn't there either. In turn, Jim gets angry and leaves to counter Dobbs. It is then they talk about how Jim's coming is chaotic and the relationship that Dobbs is having with Jim's daughter, Carrie. Jim comes in and sends everyone out to look for Earl. They can't find him anywhere they look, and the storm is getting heavier. When Dobbs and Rodriguez set off to the logging unit, Freddy is in the locker room and he hears some sounds. He looks around, but at first finds nothing, but Virgil scares him. In the logging unit, they still don't get a sight of Earl. Returning, he informs that the logging unit was now shut down, and Jim calls him in his office. Freddy calls his brother to check up on him and apologizes to him. The signals start to cut off and all connections go out. Carrie tells the Dup not to panic. Dobbs goes to Jim's office, but he tells them the consequences of actions in situations like these. While Wallace is working, Andrew tries his best to bother him and then leaves to head to the bathroom. While alone, the mysterious figure opens the door, suddenly taking over Wallace and ending his life. The scene shifts to Carrie and Dobbs entering the room. They talk about the strange behavior of equipment throughout the rig. Andrew leaves the bathroom, only to find Wallace being dragged away. He closes the door. Rodriguez and Freddy are taking turns in training with a punching bag as the storm goes on. Colin goes to Fleming's and he lets him in. Colin tells him that because of family issues, he wants off from Charlie rig. Fleming's tells him that Freddy, his brother, is a good man and Jim speaks highly of him. Colin should sleep on it for now, and if he feels the same way later on, then they may consider. Back to Dobbs and Carrie, she tries to comfort Dobbs, but during that, Jim comes knocking at the door. Though Carrie lies about being alone, Jim leaves and Carrie immediately goes to follow him. Jim disapproves of Dobbs being the one for her. Dobbs goes to Faulkner, who tells him that he is not supposed to like Carrie and starts to talk about his past life in wars. Dobbs reminds him that they are at a rig, not at war. Returning to Jim and Carrie, he just wants Carrie not to marry someone who works at the rig because it is dangerous, but after some convincing, he lets it be. As he picks up a photo, a strange creature takes hold of him and ends his life. Carrie comes to Dobbs and ruins their game. When Carrie opens the door of Jim's office, she sees a pool of blood and yells for help. Dobbs and Faulkner try to hold Carrie back from the scene. In another scene, Virgil goes inside the pantry, but as there is no light, he uses a flashlight. Faulkner makes the choice to contact all members, but Carrie can't get over the sights. The phones ring and no one is picking up. Virgil is working in the kitchen with music on and doesn't pay attention to his surroundings. Suddenly, the creature comes and takes hold of him as well, ending his life. With this, only 6 members on board remain. Faulkner decides to take any makeshift weapon that they can to explore the rig and see what is going on. Freddy and Rodriguez are together in the locker room, and the trio comes in to break the news about what happened. They believe that Faulkner is joking, but later, they go to check Jim's office themselves. Everywhere, they'd find blood. Trying to enter a room, they find Andrew in there, hiding by himself. Taking him outside, Andrew tells them that there was a strange creature there unlike ever seen before that took the life of Wallace. They decide to check the security footage, and they notice something moving in the frame. They worry about when the other crew will return to the rescue, but it'll be a long time. Now they decide how to take it down, and they decide to divide into teams, but some are against the idea. They try to get to the Jim's room. They find a gun with a trigger lock. Carrie tells that the key must be in his office. Faulkner says that he will go onto the roof to get the spear gun himself and doesn't want to remain in the team, saying that he hunts alone. They decide to get the keys and then lock themselves in the control room. When Faulkner gets one of the parts of the creature, he taps it on the ground and lights it on fire, realizing that they can be burned. Because of this, he covers the spear with gasoline. Going into Jim's office, Carrie gets a flashback and can't bear the sights. Dobbs unlocks the guns and they leave to find Virgil. In the kitchen, they divide to investigate the place and they find the remains of Virgil. Andrew is against the idea of Dobbs, and along with Rodriguez, they hear a noise and check it, only for Rodriguez to be attacked by the creature and get her life ended. Andrew goes to get help, but as they come, it's too late. Freddy is devastated and takes out his anger on Andrew, blaming him for not taking care of Rodriguez. He wants to go after the creature, but Carrie and Dobbs stop him. Returning to the operating room, Freddy apologizes to Andrew, but Carrie tells them that Andrew is having an allergic reaction. Freddy and Dobbs plan on getting the adrenaline shot from the sick bay, while Carrie will look out for them through the camera. Outside, they plan to go under the rig as a safe decision, but there are no cameras down there. They finally get to the other end and find Faulkner already camping there to hunt. Carrie sees a creature in the camera and immediately reports. Faulkner lights his spear gun on fire and continues moving. Getting close to taking care of one, another creature attacks him, ending his life and taking him away. Carrie reports this, and both Freddy, alongside Dobbs, get the meds and run for their lives. They give the shot to Andrew and he gets better. The door starts to knock and Dobbs tries to take control over it. The others try to run, but Andrew gets attacked and dies. Dobbs kills one but runs out of bullets, and all of them run away from there. Unfortunately, the creature still is not dead. While hiding, the creature is right on them but leaves. The remaining trio goes into hiding. They plan on luring the creatures and burning them. Freddy and Dobbs collect flares while Carrie redirects the gas. They know and accept the risk of using themselves as bait. Both wish luck to each other and leave. They try to lure the creatures to the decided places. Corey sees a movement, but Freddy doesn't see anything in the place. He gets an idea and gets onto the crane while the creature is underneath. Freddy jumps onto the creature to kill it, and a battle ensues. While Dobbs is trying to get in time to rescue him, but it is too late. Freddy is dead and dragged away. Dobbs rushes back to Corey and takes her with him. Going to the top side, Dobbs is stabbed in the leg and Corey runs away, turning on all the gases. She goes into hiding but gets spotted. Dobbs stabs the creature and it follows him. Dobbs uses his flare to burn the area down, sacrificing himself. Corey is devastated by this. As the morning arises, the smoke is there and comms finally work. The rescue team is coming, and they only report that Carrie is there, no one else. They tell that Carrie is hysterical and states that the crew is all gone. Fleming is also devastated by the news. Colin wakes up and goes to Fleming to find out what's going on. He cannot bear the news of losing his brother, and Fleming comes and consoles him. He also mentions that the explosion on the rig was not on its own. There was something else too, and doesn't let Colin on this mission, but he forces him be into the rescue team and begins heading to the rig to find out where his brother went. Reaching the rig, they start to investigate the areas separately. Colin goes to check all the monitors to check for any movements, while Fleming goes into Jim's office. Colin finds blood in the camera and Fleming finds blood in Jim's office. Colin goes to the place where his brother has died. Fleming sees this and goes after Colin. Searching through the place, they find more remaining scenes of brutality. Colin hears and notices and takes the pipe with him and finally finds Freddy. The creature starts to attack, but Freddy rescues Colin while Fleming shoots the creature, ending it. They get Freddy and leave the rig for the better, and with this, the movie ends.